Farms and Walnut Farms. There's a spider on the gazebo. Ew, he's got a big booty. What is up, you guys?
G'day, legends. We're here at the free campsite, the Cartoon Pub.
Yes, we stayed the night here and we are going to our next destination soon. Today we're going to be taking you guys through a pros and cons list of all the different types of camping that we do. So whether it's paid, free, public, private, all the things. We're going to go through all the things we love, all the things we don't love.
We don't want spiders in the outhouse.
Yeah. We're looking at you at Amoga Pub. We're gonna talk about it later, but come on, let's enjoy the day because we can't check into our campsite yet. So we're gonna do some exploring, and I think we're on the hunt for all-day breakfast.
DJ Adventures, it's time to hit the road.
Also, if you are interested to see a little tour of this place, we stayed here the last 24 hours, so you want to go back to last week's episode and check that out. It was a goodie.
Alright guys, we're here in Albury and we're looking for a feed. We found a place that we're going to go to and it's got a unique story behind it, kind of similar to the situation that we're in today. The story starts back in 1894 and it's about a wealthy New York banker who was hungover wandering around looking for a breakfast joint. He found a place, goes in there and immediately asks for buttered toast, a poached egg, bacon and hollandaise sauce. He gets it and it tastes amazing. And this dish takes off. It's called the Mr. Benedict. And this breakfast joint is named after it. And that's exactly where we're going now. Jamie just ordered her, what is it?
Almond chai latte.
Jamie just ordered her chai latte. What did they say?
They make their own almond milk.
We'll see.
The chai tastes different than normal, but it's like full of flavors and like aromas. Like as soon as she put it down, I could smell the almonds and I could smell the chai. And it's so cute. I got the Beast Toasty.
Oh yeah.
Pickle mayo. They have pickle mayo on it? So good. Alright. What did you get?
What did I get?
Dirty bee.
The dirty bee. It was prettier before I chopped it up. Soft meat, delicious cheese, really tasty smoky cheese. Yeah, this is a win. That cheese is so good. Alright guys, we've landed at our next and last HIPCAMP site for the weekend after an awesome brunch in Albury. I fell in love with the town. It was beautiful.
Yeah. And I've been to Albury before, but I got to really explore it in a way that I didn't the other time. So it was really nice, and I can't wait to come back. There were so many little bars, like the brew house we wanted to check out, and then there was another place that we wanted to check out that was about to have happy hour. But we needed to get to the campsite and set up, so we did, and it's so nice here. It's so quiet. We met the owners. They have so many animals here. They had like a little dog. They had 2 dogs. There's cows. There's horses. There's ducks. There's chickens. There's everything here.
So we're right in the middle of a farm. That is the nature of HIPCAMP.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the point of today's episode.
So if you're interested to hear the pros and cons of the kind of campsites that we like and don't like and what to expect, grab yourself a drinky drink and get cozy, because we're about to go through that list with you right now.
Number 1. Well, we want to end this video on a high note. So the first thing that we're going to do is take you through all the cons of all the different camping grounds.
Yeah. We thought that might be a better way to do this instead of like ending on a really sour note. So we have a list going here. So if you see us looking down at the phone, that is why. And I have a margarita here. If you see me sipping, that is what it is.
And if you hear us slurring our words,
you know why. All right.
Yeah.
Don't act surprised.
all right?
So we're going to go through the cons of paid camping grounds, free camping grounds, and then HIPCAMP camping grounds, which are also free. I mean, which are also paid.
But they're on private property.
They're on private property, and they're usually a lot more affordable than other paid camping grounds. So we stayed at public camping grounds that we paid $70 for a weekend. At HIPCAMP, we paid $30 for a weekend once. So it's a lot more affordable, and that's why we're here right now.
But that's a pro.
Yeah. Oh, shoot. Oh.
Save that for later.
Erase that from your memory.
All right.
You didn't hear that.
Paid camping grounds. Cons. The sites are close to one another. They are literally next to each other. You could have a caravan next to your little tent. That caravan could have a family in it. Your little tent could have just you and the wife trying to have a quiet night in.
Yeah.
Not fun.
Or a bunch of yahoos who are just trying to party it up. And the paid camping grounds, like, they have quiet hour restrictions. Oh, that's a positive. Okay. We're doing really bad at this. You're not guaranteed any views, so it can be hard to get like really good views like this. They have strict rules sometimes, especially when there was a lot of COVID restrictions going on. Limited site space. You feel like you have to be quiet sometimes because you're so close to other space.
Like if you don't have a loud, boisterous conversation, you feel awkward and annoying.
Yeah, and like we like to like have some music going when we're cooking dinner, but sometimes it doesn't always feel appropriate, and so it can kind of be a vibe killer. But yeah, it really depends what's your vibe. You know, I talk loud, he talks loud, and like at the end of the night, after a few drinks, like we're laughing and joking, and we don't want to like. Don't want to have to feel like we have to be quiet and restricted ourselves because we're paying to be here, but we also don't want to like ruin someone else's vibe as well. You know what I mean? So it can get really like, oh, like you look forward to leaving almost. Children running through your space or around in general. We did get woken up by small children, but we'll save that for the pros and cons list.
We were chilling out, having our dinner, and kids were playing Tiggy through the center of our camp. We have our gazebo set up right now next to our van. There's about half a meter space between it. They were running through there.
Yeah,
like,
so picture
good
us
on them. They're
trying
kids.
to vlog this right now with kids literally running by and running their hands along the fly screen of our gazebo.
Yeah.
And like, la, 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 which is fine. They're kids. They're being kids.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But if you're a couple of dinks like us,
Yeah, who don't want kids. But even if we did want kids, it's irrelevant. It's just people in our space. So it's nothing to do with like, oh my god, those kids. It's like an invasion of privacy. You know what I mean? And we're not going to sit there and yell at them because they're kids being kids, and that's the responsibility of the parents. I'll leave it at that. But but yeah, we just don't want kids in our space, and that's our personal preference. Just people in general walking through your campsite, like to get to the
yes. So
amenities.
to get to the amenities, we had to go through someone else's campsite. So we were those kids.
Yeah.
And
But
I
we
feel
weren't-
bad about it.
We weren't screaming and yelling. We were quietly walking.
But yeah, so
But
passing
you
through
still
other
feel like
people's
you're invading their space. Kind of do it. Yeah, it's camp life, like paid camping spot.
orcs as bro.
So now we're going to talk to you about the cons of free campground.
They're regulated usually through the council shire. Sometimes a park ranger might come around and ask for $10. Never happened to us, but apparently that's the case.
Yeah. And so yeah,
They're literally campgrounds run by. Sorry, to cut you off. The campgrounds run by the council. That is first come, first serve. Set up as you like.
yeah, and it usually will have a sign saying like you can camp here, or they'll have spots that are like no camping, but they'll have designated little fire bins. So it really depends, but you'll know if it's a free camp spot. It's not like wild camping or I don't know if it's
No, it's not out in the bush. They are cleared out designated areas for camping, and they are usually in bushland, and all the surrounding area of the bushland will have signs up saying no tenting, no camping, and then you'll open up to a big open space with usually a fire pit in the middle.
So yeah, that's what we mean when we refer to free camping. They're not really regulated, so you never really know who's going to be around. It's usually hooligans
Yes.
who want places that aren't as strict. So like we were saying with the paid camping that are more regulated, have like noise hours. So like after 11 is quiet hours. That's not going to happen at a free campsite. So you could be playing your music. So if you want to get a good night's sleep and the people next to you are having the time of their lives partying all night, it's like, sucks for you. Should have went to a paid campground with quiet hours. But you know what I mean? So it's not really regulated in that sense.
There are council restrictions on noise, but
They're like in the middle of nowhere. So it's like,
if you want to be loud, you'll get away with it.
yeah. So it's first come, first serve, as Doug said before. So you're not guaranteed a spot. So if you're driving all day and you're like, you're really looking forward to staying at this one spot, and then you get there and there's a bunch of hooligans, as we like to call them, because we think it's hilarious.
Bloody yahoos.
The yahoos. There might be a bunch of people there, and then you literally can't find a spot. This almost happened to us our first time going out in the van
Yes.
to the Grampians.
Traumatic.
We thought we were gonna have to sleep on the side of the mountain and get kicked out by the rangers, because we just couldn't find a spot.
The free campsites aren't usually in the center of town. That's usually reserved for the paid ones, which means that it can be hard to go out exploring for the day. Our setup is a big gazebo that we like to cook our meals in. Your setup might be a tent. You can't really just leave that stuff lying around at a free campsite and then head out exploring the national parks for the day.
Yeah.
So it can be a bit iffy that way.
I mean, you can, but some people have gotten things stolen, and we don't want to take that risk. And we tried leaving a couple of things, and nothing did happen, but we didn't leave much. We left like our table and a tiny gazebo that we had that was from Kmart for like $5, and things that we didn't care if they got taken. But we just to like mark our spot, but it's a bit dicey. We didn't know what we were gonna come back to, so it's like the whole time we were out, we were like, "Ooh, what's happening to our stuff?" And you just don't want that feeling. You want to, feel like things are secured. Or another thing is they lack amenities usually. One of the ones that we go to regularly, they have one of the designated campsites out of like 10 that has like toilets, and that's near a boat ramp. But there's only 2 out of all the campsites. And then it's like a 20-minute drive into town where there's like proper toilets and stuff. So if you don't have a setup that has a toilet, these things can become an issue, unless you're gonna just dig a hole and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there might be a lot more bugs. These ones are usually out of town, out of the way. These paid campsites usually have really manicured lawns and a lot more people there, so that keeps the bugs away. So out of town, out of the way, in the bush, way more bugs are going to be in your dinner.
Not necessarily in your dinner, but
In your
just
bits.
around.
Around
They're
your
gonna be
nose.
around. It's gonna be a lot more. But we went to one of our other spots after lockdowns, and because people hadn't been there for so long, it was like infested with bugs, and especially spiders.
Raining spiders.
It's so bad to the point where I picked up anything you picked up had a spider on it, and I got bit by one. It was like so traumatizing, and I didn't know if it was poisonous. We're out in the middle of nowhere, like it was a free campsite, so like no one else was really there at that time. It was dicey, okay? It was dicey.
It's dicey.
Okay, don't worry, Mom, I'm okay, okay?
She walked it off like a champ.
Yeah, and he just kept working out like, oh, you'll be fine.
Walk it off like a champ.
A lot of them may require 4-wheel drive. We've stumbled across so many free campsites that were like stunningly gorgeous, and then we do a little bit of research and we're like, 4-wheel drive.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why we are obsessed with the idea of having a 4-wheel drive van.
Yes. In Australia, 4-wheel
yeah.
drive.
And yeah, it just gives you so much more options to like get up right near the water, which we love. If you know us, you know we love having water near us. I don't know if you can see, there's a little dam behind us here, and there's so many birds that are flying. It's so pretty here. It's just so quiet. I love it so much. now we're here to talk about the cons of our favorite HIPCAMP. And this was the hardest part of the list to do for me.
Yeah, same. I mean, we love HIPCAMP, so how could we come up with cons? Well, we did. Here they are.
Listen to this, HIPCAMP, because I'm calling you out, okay? We said we're not holding back, and we're not holding back. So you better buckle up for this, because this is real. HIPCAMP can have more bugs. Which is what we just said another way. Honestly, it can have more bugs because you're usually like on a farm.
Yes.
We're on a farm, and it can definitely feel like you're on a farm.
Yes.
You know, this feels great after like staying at the Etimoga pub.
It does. But on the other side of this fly net,
there's so many
wild out
crickets.
there.
There's so many crickets. The field has a lot of tall grass, so we're definitely keeping our eye out for snakes. And I've already seen spider webs. So like, this is just, we're in nature. But I think that's what you want when you're looking at HIPCAMPs. You just get that nature feel. So yeah, there's definitely more bugs, just depending on where the campsite is and the upkeep of the property and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's one for HIPCAMP.
Some of the roads can be really hard for two-wheel drives. HIPCAMP works that you're out on someone's property. They usually have a driveway, and then the rest of the property is paddocks. And depending on the landscape of their paddocks and the recent weather, there can be some really muddy bogs when it comes to getting to the campsites.
Bogs are just like muddy
Holes in the ground. They're
muddy
bogs.
holes in the ground.
Yeah, it is what it sounds like. It's a
It's not
bog.
good.
Yeah, and you don't want to drive a two-wheel drive van through a bog. So be aware of that when you're doing hip camping. You're staying on someone's lawn-mowed farm.
Yeah, and
you get what
usually
you
on
get.
a farm you need a tractor to get around.
Yep. Or a
and
4x4.
Exactly. A lot of the hip camps are really great at letting you know if you have a 4-wheel drive, this campsite's more suitable for you. If
Yes.
you don't,
Yes.
there are spots on our land that might be better for you, but if it's a rainy day, they might turn you away. So
Yep.
you can message them and have a conversation about it, but it is something to definitely look out for. Sorry, there is one more for hip camp, unfortunately. The cabins and tiny homes that I've seen on hip camp,
Yes.
they seem to be a bit overpriced in like compared to like Airbnb or other websites that host tiny homes and camper vans. I think it's because it's more of like farms and paddocks and like
Experience
camper
driven
vans.
rather
Yeah.
than just the tiny home.
Yeah, exactly. So I find that, and I like the owners set the price. So we're onto the pros. We're onto
Are you still
the
happy from that
pros.
brunch? Is that what this is?
I wish we could eat that brunch. It was so good, you guys. The cheese on that burger.
Alright, we've done our brunch review. We've done.
No,
Can you
we
crack me
haven't.
a second
Grab yourself another drink because we are moving on to
coldie.
the pros.
Load me up. I'm drinking a delicious Belgian beer this weekend.
Belgian or Belgium? Is it Belgian or Belgium? Belgium.
Belgium. I'm drinking a delicious Belgian beer this weekend.
Listen,
Listen to this, everyone. You're gonna enjoy this.
show them.
I'm like a copyright by Disney.
Oh shoot!
DJ Adventures, it's time to hit the pros. So there, I took our theme song and I mixed it up a
It's
bit.
not a theme song.
It's definitely our theme song.
Okay. The pros.
You're guaranteed a spot. Obviously, you're paying for one, you're definitely going to get it. Plus, they have amenities. Usually a hot shower, which, you know, in the middle of winter or after a day of swimming,
Yeah.
massive win.
Yeah, and then a water tap right on your site. Another thing I really loved is that you have the extra security of having security guards at night at some of these.
Yeah, the last
And
time we stayed at, Wilson's security came and drove through. Loved
Yeah,
it.
so you just have that extra sense of security. Sometimes it can get a little dicey sleeping out in the middle of a field. You know what I mean? So having that extra
Like this?
having that extra security sometimes is a bit comforting. And then you do, depending on what you're after, they have the noise restrictions that are in, like usually quiet hours after 11, which can be great.
I personally liked this. I
Yeah.
liked that there was a quiet hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy that they were like, everyone shut the fuck up. Oh, good.
Considering you're usually the one that's blasting the music at 11 p.m. Yeah, he left that out. Anyway, close to town and the shops, they're usually like in the center of towns, near a cool like beach or something, or a national park. with amenities, convenience stores, gas stations, brunch spots, all the things. You know. Places you can get pizza.
So you just thinking about food again now?
Right, now
So-
we're onto the pros of free campgrounds. They're free. It's a bit cost effective.
They're free. Do you want a budget? Don't worry about it. Stay the night for free.
All right, that's it. Pros over. No, I'm joking. They're usually in secluded places, so you can have your space and have some nice, beautiful views. In our experience, this has been what we've experienced when we've gone to free campsites.
If you do get a good bounce, it's great. The one that we go to near the Grampians, we have had like the entire camping area to ourselves on a hill overlooking the lake.
And then you're like, what? This is free? Oh my god, I feel so bougie. Got this all to myself for free. It's like what they say, like millionaire views on a budget. And
On
you're
the
like,
back of your van.
or in your tent, like whatever your jam
Whatever
is.
you're rolling with.
No noise restrictions. So like I said, depending on what your jam is, maybe you're feeling like getting on the party vibes.
I've taken advantage of that a few times.
Unfortunately. Fire bins are usually allowed.
Yes.
Again, this varies, so always check. You know, if you've never gone to a free campsite before and you're watching this video because you're thinking of doing it, definitely check for the specific campsite that you're looking at. WikiCamps is really good for that. Just make sure that you know, you're not putting a fire where a fire shouldn't be put. Okay, you don't want to get fined. Okay, that's the last thing you want to do, because if you're staying at a free campsite because you're on a budget, that's gonna blow your budget. Okay, no overly enforced rules.
Yeah.
Besides like fire bans and all that kind of stuff. You may see more wild animals since they tend to be more secluded. So we saw so many kangaroos.
Deer.
Yeah. You can see lots of wild animals. We saw an echidna. I saw an echidna on the way here.
You saw anything?
Yeah. And dead kangaroos.
You can see live animals.
And dead ones. We've seen both. So now we are on to our top favorite, the pros of HIPCAMP. And if you've watched any of our camping videos that ever, a good chance that we talk about how much we friggin' love HIPCAMP. Or at least I do. I feel like I say it in almost every video. I'm just like, yo, check your HIPCAMP, you're missing out, and blah, 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 blah. What we love about HIPCAMP is that you're guaranteed a spot. There's usually awesome views.
Yes.
And the thing is, you get to pick. Like, you get to pick where you want to go and what views they have. And I love that it's like user reviews, so you get to like get people's real experiences and reviews. And I don't know, I just really love it.
And you feel alone.
Yeah, like I feel alone, even though like the owner's house is way over there on the property. But there's a beautiful hill in front of us, horses, cows over there, birds and ducks over there, dogs and chickens. Like, it's just amazing. You're just sitting in this paddock, like just being able to like immerse yourself in like living on a living on like a farm life, like living the farm life.
There's also a certain level of safety that you feel that is a mix between free camping and paid for camping, where you're alone, you're out in the bush, you're by yourself, but the farmer has your number and you have theirs. So if something goes wrong, there is someone that you can call.
And they know the area and all of that kind of stuff. And you're on someone's property, so like I just don't feel like some yahoos are gonna stumble in, you know what I mean? So yeah.
The best of both worlds.
Personal experience with the owners. Some of them go out of their way to really just like make you feel right at home in their home, and I just love that. We had one of the owners bring like freshly laid
the fresh farm
eggs from the chickens, and I was just like, it just meant so much. Like as soon as we got there, she knocked on the door and brought over the little eggs, and they were delicious, and it was just so lovely. Lots of farm animals and experiences that you can add on to your purchase at the bookings on the booking site. So you can do like horse rides on some of them if they have horses available. One of them had like llamas that you could walk them around and feed them.
Experiences in general, really. I mean, we did canoeing.
Yeah, we added on canoeing to my birthday trip on the Murray River. If you haven't watched that one, go check it out. So we added that one on, and that was so much fun because I had never been canoeing. And that was so much fun. And we added it on for $5.
But each one comes with a different experience.
Yeah, and not all of them add on experiences, but you can definitely look out for the ones that do. I know some of them are on like fruit farms and walnut farms, There's a spider on the gazebo. Ew, he's got a big booty. It's a private property, so the rules are at the owner's discretion. You can get more of a local experience. The prices are way more affordable on most places.
Yes.
The owners are very helpful
Yes.
for the most part in our experience. Like, since of course they want a good review as well. So we've never left a bad review so far. A lot of them are like, the ones that we've loved are the ones that are like passionate about their property and like sharing it with others, and they'll tell you like the little backdrop, and you get to just have a personal conversation. So I think that that's really cool. Some will allow you to hire toilets out or buy firewood and stuff like that. Some will even allow you to like rent an extra tent. So if you don't have a tent, you can add that on, and you don't have to worry about, you know, buying a full tent that you're never going to use again, you know, and stuff like that.
That's our entire list.
We hope that you found value from this. If you did find value from this, or if you did think it was funny for even like 1.2 seconds, you better go on and hit that like button. Yeah, right now. Pause the video, hit the like button. Thank you. We love seeing those likes come through. We love seeing the comments come through. And if you have any other questions regarding the pros and cons that we might not have thought of, let us know in the comments. We would love to answer it in another video. If you found this valuable and you're going to check any of it out, please let us know in the comments as well, or hit us up over on Instagram. And if you want more content like this showing up on your feed, you already know what to do.
Subscribe. Now.
Now.
Thank you guys so much, and we will see you next Wednesday. Anything else to say?